Overseers undone. Martin is on his way to join the Loyalists, and Campbell's fate has thrown the Overseers into disarray. Decoding the High Overseer's journal may reveal any number of strategic secrets, most notably, the location of the rightful heir to the throne, Emily Kaldwin. What would we do without Samuel?
Admiral Havelock and Lord Pendleton are in the courtyard. I expect they'll want to congratulate you.
Callista! Yes, High Overseer Campbell has been removed from power, and the Loyalist ally, Overseer Martin, has been freed. Great. Callista will be happy to hear about Captain Kurnow.
He's alive. Thank you, Corvo, thank you. My uncle's a good man, and one day he'll prove it. Here. I know you did this for the right reasons, but I want you to take this as a reward. It's an old heirloom one of my aunts gave me.
Coins? You gave me some coins or like a rune or something? The shape looked like a rune. I don't know how many we had beforehand. Oh. Vitality, yeah. I think next time I'm gonna try to aim for this one. Jump height is increased. I think that'll help with reaching new places with blink and stuff, but we'll see. Not many things have changed around here, I suppose.
They're all corrupt. If this is going to work, we have to take down the Lord Regent and all of his key allies. You know that.
Yes. Hopefully the High Overseer is the first step along that path.
And we must find the girl, Emily. Poor thing. Who knows what her mind is like, being there when her mother was killed.
I'd imagine the daughter of an empress is tougher than you think.
Quite right. In any case, we won't get the Lord Regent until we weaken his base. All the pieces are in play. He controls the City Watch. Through Campbell, he had the religious faction. Someone is funding the military. And he currently has a majority in Parliament.
Yes, I'm aware of that. My brothers control the voting bloc for my family. I'm very much aware of that.
Brothers! In the void, we saw somebody who looked exactly like you. Do you have twin brothers? I like how I took off the mask already, but I can still zoom in.
You did it! Somehow you took down the High Overseer Campbell against the odds. I knew you were our man, Corvo. With Campbell gone, we've hurt the Lord Regent immeasurably. And with Martin back, we'll have the finest strategist alive.
The Lord Regent must be shitting himself in Dunwall Tower.
Yes. And Campbell's journal, let's not forget. Our hope is that in these encoded pages, the location and condition of Emily Kaldwin can be discovered. Our entire movement will mean nothing if we can't place the rightful heir on the throne. We must act fast. No doubt the Lord Regent is holding Emily somewhere, waiting to reveal her, to step out as the hero and further cement his regency.
If he doesn't bring the young lady forth soon, there will be infighting among the nobles as to who should succeed the Empress.
Yes, time is against us. But now you should take a well-earned rest, Corvo. We will decipher the contents of the High Overseer's journal and share them with you later.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Admiral. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to think here. Emily.
Whiskey everywhere in this place, but good wine is hard to come by.
Really?
We'll have to find Emily soon. With Campbell out of play, they're likely to move her.
Campbell being out of play means that we've disabled their religious faction. That's a good thing, but it also means that we've alerted them to the fact that we are gonna go against them. So they're gonna have tighter security everywhere from now on, most likely. How old is Emily anyway? I'm not quite sure. We got all the bone charms in our room. Okay, I'll make sure to go get it. Samuel? Oh, I can, there we go.
Sailors tell tales of monsters far out to sea. But I'll tell you, there's strange things in this river no one talks about. Lights in the water, late at night. I've seen faces, too.
Faces? That's kind of scary. Hello, Callista.
The Admiral was right in recruiting you. Nothing's been the same since the Lord Regent took power. But at least Campbell's gone and my uncle lived.
My pa always wanted me to be an overseer. If he could see us now.
We have the journal now, but it's not the right time for us to expose the Lord Regent yet, right? Because we can't establish that there's a link between the Lord Regent and the kidnapping, because we found the journal from High Overseer Campbell. Now we've read this. Second solution? I can't remember what we've read and what we haven't read. I think we've read this one too. These change periodically, apparently.
The inspiration is coming faster. My mind works faster at night than it does during the day. I'm being swept away and I can no longer tell if it's genius or madness. When Corvo arrived, he brought some force from the void with him. Or perhaps I'm more brilliant than I even supposed.
Piero.
My, there is something to you, isn't there? You went and spanked the High Overseer in his own house. I hope the tools I designed for you function to your satisfaction. The fact that I am standing here and talking to you affirms that this is true, in several ways.
Can you help me out with more?
Can I be of service to you?
New upgrades available, blueprints. You've brought to Piero, unlock these upgrades. Mask optics 2, improved armor. Hey, I can buy runes? Isn't that a really important thing for us to buy then? Because we gotta get more new powers? Cause like, look at everything else. We have full everything pretty much. Okay, sure, I'll buy this. I guess I'll get a rune too. There's only one available here. Rewire tool, don't really need that. We have 4,000 coins now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, some of our upgrades for the crossbow. Faster reload enables auto reload. Combat sleep dart. Yeah, let's do this one. This one is important if things go south. Corvo's pistol upgrade. Don't really use it at all right now. Spring razor. Sword crossing. I'd rather upgrade the crossbow ones because we use sleep darts a lot. Range. Range lowers dispersion and stabilizes crossbow aim. My aim with a crossbow is really bad actually. Mask optics, another level of magnification. Why not? Is there anything I need to save my money for? Hopefully not. Bolt capacity. Does that count? Oh, standard bolts. Not sleep darts, so not really useful for me. Bullet capacity, reduces damage. Bone charm capacity. I kind of have one right now, or two, because we picked up the artifacts that was right next to my bed when we woke up earlier. But I'll buy another one, I guess. Improved armor. Okay, we will maybe settle for this for now. Still got 2,000 more coins. Maybe I'll just do it on the crossbow stuff. We might want to save a little bit of money for the next few levels. But I wish they had more bolt capacity for sleep darts, but that would probably be a little bit too OP. Okay, thank you. And now I got 2 runes, which means I can immediately get agility. Overall movement speed increase would be pretty good too. Yeah, okay. Thank you. At level 2, you can sprint much faster, and that would need 3 runes. 3 runes. Yeah, we should try these ones too. Possession. Possession, it says allow control of animal targets. I don't really remember how this works. Is it the one where you become the rat itself? Because judging by what I see in the wording here, it sounds more like I'm standing still and I'm like, hey, rat, go left, and then the rat goes left. But it's not like that, right? It's more that I'm going into the rat. Allowing you to merge physically with an animal. This could be good because we've seen a lot of these like little sewer holes as we've been walking around places. So probably it's possible for us to reach new places if we go there by possession. Yeah, we've read all this. We haven't been to that tower over there though. No. Because it's closed. But we can just come here. Whose room is this? Oh my god, it's kind of scary. Call to the Spheres, Volume 1. Work of fiction? We've read this. I kind of want to collect the books just because I don't remember what I've read and haven't read. Especially because we only come back to the hub once every like 5 hours. The Trials of Aptitude. Oh yes, we have also read this one. We'll know if we've read it before because if we haven't, then it'll say on the screen, new book. The Fugue Feast. At the end of every year, after the last day of the month of songs, we begin the Fugue Feast. The new year has not started, and thus the time that follows is outside the calendar. A period of celebration and feasting begins, during which the people abandon the very practices that keep them whole and healthy over the year. Many leave their homes, euphoric with spirits or potent herbs. Some paint their faces or wear masks to conceal themselves as they pursue their passions without reservation. When the right cosmological signs are observed, it is time for the calendar to begin anew. The sitting High Overseer calls for the hymn of atonement, and the Fugue Feast ends. Families return to their homes, wives to their husbands, enemies put down their weapons, and fires are extinguished. No complaint is given for those who have wronged others, deviated from ancient codes, or discarded oaths. For this time, during the astrological alignment, does not exist, and is not recorded. The following day starts the new year, marked on the first day of the month of Earth, as it has always been. Because everyone is under such a strict moral code, usually. Not even just moral, but like a general code of conduct. So it's pretty welcome when we can break away from that a bit. Whose room is this, though? Just a random room? Seems to connect to mine. I think at the minimum, we can pick these up. Yeah, I've already picked all of them up last time here. But these ones... Mystical Wolfhound Artifact. This one gives me an extra slot though, and I feel like that's just... I mean, we shouldn't be getting it so early, should we? It's 4 out of 7 now. Firewater. Shot whiskey bottles explode with greater intensity. Blast resistant. Yet damage from explosions reduced slightly. Fencer. Win sword versus sword contests more frequently. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these are kinda... whatever, I guess. I'll think about it later. Early life and criminal record, Slackjaw. Letter sent by a member of the Bottle Street gang. You want the chin wag on Slackjaw? What he was like when we was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but it weren't always like that. In the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street gang, time was, young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed. Dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them born into the brothels or coming from the orphanages, it was either the gangs or working with the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the Navy or put down into the mines, run by the Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least we was free. By the time we weren't little uns anymore, Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots when we took down a farmer's cart or sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with a plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the split. Most of us just went along because we learned fast that we made up better like that. More food, more coin. Plus, none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He's like the gang leader. There's a few more here. Bit of money. Feels so dirty taking this. Gutter Feast. White rats can be consumed for mana. Ooh! Ooh, I want to try that. White rat's friend. White rats won't attack you. Ooh! Hey, this would make a great combination. Void Channel. Powers effects slightly improved. It's pretty vague. Okay, sure. Whatever. And I'll take that too, I guess. Whale artifact? The Journal of Granny Rags. Of course I'll tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen, I can see out into the garden, where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest along the rows of twisted vines. The front room looks out into the street, where the neighbors are all setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside. Warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom either. It sees into a dreary alley, where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first two are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine people. Vera More, everyone would say, your house is as grand as Boyle Manor. Oh, is that Granny Rags' name? Vera? Better even. Your dinners are lavish, and your parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said. And he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint, glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home, no. We traveled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles, beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pandysia, to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones, carved so deep and polished so bright. Is that the outsider? Black eyes. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband. Then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me. Make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunwall Tower, the royal headsman himself now. My little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. Do we know this person? Somebody mute, who's in a high-ranking position now. The royal headsman. Better bones were what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup, and then he was sick. Better bones, was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with black eyes. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts, I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old, and don't have many to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for Granny Rags and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street, Slackjaw and his boys, always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. And she gave me a birthday gift, so I like her.
Fortunes have been won here, and lives have been lost. The old man claimed a dark corner and drank himself into oblivion. The hounds were the first to find him. Listen, I can hear their every thought. Somewhere in the basements below, Hound kills Hound, and money changes hands.
It's the same sort of stuff that we heard previously. We can try this on people too, it seems, so let's find someone to try it on. Is the Admiral still around? Oh, we haven't been to the stairs before, because last time I went another way.
Do you mean to tell me you don't know how to curtsy properly?
Please, sir. I was never in service at removal.
That's not an excuse. You need to learn how to be Corvo. The Hound Pits have seen a few lords in this day.
If they were here, I expect they didn't want to be recognized, sir.
Never mind that.
I don't know why we're doing dark vision here.
Respect he deserves. He doesn't require it, but he notices.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
But even so, have you forgotten we may soon be guarding a future Empress? You will be in the presence of the most important person in the entire known world, and you don't know how to curtsy.
But she's just a child, and she's not even here. No one knows where she is.
Well, our masters are just the people to find her, I'll have you know. Please learn your manners before then.
I don't know why I'm eavesdropping like this. Wallace! I've never met you.
My father served in the field under General Alfred Pendleton, where he took the wound that crippled him. I hope I will do no less if called upon. Until then, well, there is plenty of silver to polish.
The last time, or the first time we were at the hub, the Admiral was like, oh, go see Wallace, he'll take you to your room. But then I went through the roof, so I never met him until now. I just don't want to give pressure to people, so that's why I'm eavesdropping like this. I also don't want them to see me and stop talking. Hey.
Sometimes I wonder if the plague is just going to go on and on and on and kill everyone ever, and it's the end of the world. Think of that.
We have a lot of problems other than the plague right now.
Admiral Havelock has seen more corpses than all the rest put together. Such laughter, and they're singing the old songs, linking arms. But that was from a happier time. Deals are made here.
Oh,
sometimes
is that it?
The influence of wine, and sometimes the influence is the point of a knife.
Do I have to stare at him the entire time?
He has killed whales and men for profit and pleasure. He has the bloodlust. He tried to seize control of the military after the Empress. After the Empress, was murdered. Look at him. Admiral Havelock grows restless on land.
Without a leader, the
There
Abbey's
was
going to be in
younger
disarray
brother,
for a while.
An artist,
But how did
sensitive, soft, taken at 9 by a fever. Havelock loved him truly.
Oh, we can learn things about people that we otherwise wouldn't. If we use the heart here. How does the heart know? I wonder. We still can't go here? Yeah, I'm just sort of chilling out around here for now, but I can't tell if there's anything that's distinctly different. Oh, haven't been here before. Hello, Lord Pendleton.
I could use a stiff drink. Nerves.
To think, Lord Pendleton is the son of nobility. For one so steeped in courtly manners, his thoughts do linger long on revenge and murder. The younger Pendleton, jealous little Trevor, always in the shadow. He is prone to skin infections. His eyes are sensitive to the light. Pendleton's ships come back from the Pandician continent, crowded with poor, frightened captives.
Is his brother not on our side? I guess so. There's no more runes around here. This is all it.
What sort of court will we be left with when all this is over? The grand social events I remember might well never return. Some of the noble families will have to be purged, of course.
Purged? Noble families being purged. Litany on the White Cliff. We have read this one before. These are the rooms of the other people. Harpooner songs. What will we do with the drunken whaler? What will we do with the drunken whaler? Blah, blah, blah. Slice his throat with a rusty cleaver. Stuff him in a sack and throw him over. Damn. Whaling is super important here. Without whaling, we wouldn't have whale oil. And without whale oil, we wouldn't have anything. Even here, we can start climbing all over the place. But we can't open the windows. A Gaffer's Tale, Volume 2. Someone... Oh, I think we've read Volume 1 before? This guy's done with whaling now. Too broken to continue. I've seen all the corners of the Isles and made more coin than most men see in a lifetime, but it's all gone. I've lived through an emperor and watched his daughter take the throne. Fair young empress she was, but slain so young. Is that the one that we know? Everything beautiful comes to die. I've eaten in every port of the known world and sailed in the loneliest waters you can imagine. I've seen the cliffs around Pandysia. Even the best of it doesn't give me an ounce of joy. The years come back across my dreams as a line of butchered bodies, long, sleek, singing among the waves under the moonlight, only to be speared by ugly, weather-scarred men who'd knife each other for a good pair of shoes. Each year, I had less time to come home. My tongue forgot the language of small chatter, and those who lived in the cities thought me odd. My sister Nina hardly knew what to say to me during our visits. When she lost her business to the Lord Regent's crooked barrister, I was 100 miles east of Morley, gaff hand-frozen from the sleet as we tracked the first bull whale we'd seen in months. I helped her as much as I could, but Nina died in the early days of the plague. None of it mattered. If I'm jaded and bitter, it's because this industry has taken away my dreams. The world has beaten me. I would imagine that being a whaler, because whaling is so important, right? It's a respected profession, but it seems like it's as tough as it is respected. The shadow on Bitterleaf. Finding my way by the feeble light of the dying fire, I saw her working. A large needle moved in her hand, following precise, esoteric patterns, knots and loops of seamstress craft from ancient days. Beneath her needle, his body clenched and shuddered, shaking the wooden table. What? A morbid fascination pushed me closer until she turned her blank face toward me, resting the needle in his flesh. With a refined tone, she addressed me. So you are the lover, I presume. You too have been unfaithful, and now it is your turn to be mended. What? What's she doing? She's like needling some guy because he is unfaithful? Some kind of branding? The Young Prince of Tivia. Oh, we've seen this, yes. Yeah, if it's new, it'll say new note added to journal. But it only says that once we close it, so sometimes it's like, oh, did I read this yet? Did I not?
If the city watch breaks in, I know what I'll do. I know how not to be noticed.
She hides her hands. They are raw and scarred from the washing. Before the sun rises, they toss any casualties into the river. Men or hound, they all go in. He spies on his neighbors and reports to the overseers. Only after a long day of work will he return to his home and family. He always eats very well, even as his wife and child grow thin. It is in the common man that the Abbey finds its most faithful.
What?
He steals from his business partner, a little every day.
For my master's sake, I do
still
hope I
find
find
work
refuge
along the
becomes
waterfront,
available.
Should we be... Is that what he used to do, or what he's currently doing?
Why did they select such a drafty building as a base of operation?
If he's such a rat, why are we keeping him here? Pendleton's family crisis. Cousin Anna, Morgan and Custis continue to resist my efforts and are no longer responding to my letters. The servants tell me they've been absent from the manor for some weeks. My brothers have always been arrogant, utterly convinced of their own certainty, and they don't really give two figs for anyone else in the world, unless they want something and can't take it outright. But this disagreement over the upcoming parliamentary vote has reached a crisis point. Up till now, the Lord Regent has been somewhat restrained in his authority, at least where the holdings of the gentry have been concerned. If Morgan and Custis vote in his favor, the law will be changed and we will all be at risk, aristocracy or not. I implore you, if you know where they are, to speak to them. Lord Trevor Pendleton. Triplets? Not twins, but triplets? Morgan, Custis, Trevor? I guess so? We saw two in the void, but maybe it's the two bad ones, and the one that we see here is the good one that's with us?
Memoir, Chapter 28. Waverly, Waverly, Waverly. The very name sweeps one away. She came into our cold marble hall and brought light and warmth. She changed our lives forever. It was only later I realized she was a traitorous little weasel, like all the Boyles.
The Boyles are a family that we've heard brought up quite a few times now. I guess this is Pendleton's room, but I'm snooping around in it. Okay. Oh, this must be the Admiral's room. We have read this. I gotta make an effort to remember the book titles too. Havelock Log Entry 2. There's 1. I'll start with 1. It has been days since our men were dispatched to stash weapons for Corvo in the old sewer. They have not returned, so I can only hope that they succeeded in getting the packages delivered. Piero spent considerable time and resources making those things. If I could find a way to mass produce them, the Dunwall Navy would secure its place as the dominant force on the globe. But back to Corvo. Can he actually break out of Coldridge? And if so, will he make his way here? I personally give him odds of 1 in 5. Oh, I never thought about this, but Admiral Havelock, he's currently still in the Dunwall Navy, right? So he's kind of like a spy? Yeah? Maybe that's why they have to get me to do things, cause they can't do it without exposing their identity. Everyone here is still working in Dunwall normally. Entry 2. Well, it seems that we have invested in the right man with Corvo. Not only did he free Martin from the office of the High Overseer, but he went into that viper's nest and sorted out Campbell personally. With Corvo in our company, I suspect there is no one in the world we cannot touch. We are now committed to this path. There is no turning back.
Corvo's proved his abilities beyond question. It's not anyone who can walk into Holger Square and put down the High Overseer. And now we're faced with the question, could he be dangerous? Events are going to move quickly now. The storm's rising.
If you're not a rat, you won't be in danger, because I love killing rats. You guys just coming into the Admiral's room? We've read this one. Admiralty and the Fleet. While each of the Isles has some form of naval fleet, none is more envied than that of Bristol, with its long proud history of great ships and the admirals who command them. Boys come of age in the cities of Bristol, hoping to someday captain such a ship, and family dynasties are made by those captains who track down infamous pirates or crush seditious uprisings, as during the Morley insurrection. In times of war and peace, Bristol continues to innovate at sea. The ship designs of Anton Sokolov himself now represent the highest standard in the whaling trade, allowing crews to haul their kill up over the deck and begin their butchery and processing, even as the ship returns to Dunwall. The crew can be seen working on their latest whale as the ship moves slowly up the Wrenhaven River, coming to dock with one of the powerful warehouse companies, such as the Greaves Whaling House. Suspended in the rigging overhead and backlit by the setting sun, the silhouette of one of these creatures makes a moving sight as it cruises to its final resting place in the industrial heart of the capital city. Sokolov seems to be into a whole bunch of different things. He knows how to paint, he knows science stuff, kind of like a Da Vinci kind of guy. You just cleaning up around here? Alright. Actually, everybody has a nicer room than me. I get the attic. It's not really a room. Is this pretty much it then? I don't really see anyone else around here. Or anything that we haven't seen before, I guess. This place is newly open, right? But we just saw it. Yeah. Medicinal hearts. Okay. Well, if nothing else, I will get out of here. Go to sleep. It's been a long, long day. Oh god, that mission with the High Overseer was a long mission. Okay.